Okay, here we go. I'm back. Well, I don't seem like I've been gone. This is the third time I've tried to record this. For some reason, I can't fucking talk tonight. Let's see if we can get this shit down this time. It is another Neckbeard story. We're just going to skip the intro because I kept fucking it up. From Reddit user Kite Pirate, this is Nobeard in Command. Leaves all the stock unguarded for Mario Kart. Last story got some love, so I thought I'd throw up a second. This needs a bit more context, but it'll be worth it. I'm not actually involved in this one directly, lucky me, but I enjoyed the aftermath. So, characters. Oloro, named for his Magic the Gathering deck. Pretty nice guy, great friend of the society, everybody likes him. Viking, minor character, though good guy. Looks like a Viking and a half, thus the name. Chief, named after an RPG character, old auditor of the society. Doing it again. Pretty much the dad of the society, very busy at the time of this story, has a million things on his plate. And of course, Nobeard. Focus of the tale. The ultimate neckbeard at heart, an elitist, arrogant, entitled prick. Before this has been obsessing with being in the society. Before this, he has been obsessing with being on the society committee. Okay, there was a missing word there. Doesn't feature in this tale, but a big anime fan and gaming nerd, though it's a game society, so nothing shocking there. Now for a little extra context. GameSock acts the backdrop for a lot of these stories. It's where we hung out, went to events, and it helped a lot of us in college. Each year we had a committee, senior members and official chair members, or OCMs, who were in charge of their own game events, so video games, war games, card games, blah blah blah. Often members who enjoyed the time at the events wanted to be on the committee as they get to run the events that they loved, introduce new players to the community they love, and overall just kind of keep a great community great. To be on committee, you apply, get seconded by a member of the society, and then go to the AGM, give a speech, and the members vote on who they want. Now that year, Nobeard had applied for a committee, but didn't get enough votes, though one or two of the people thought he had done well enough, or at least enough to get him to grow a bit from his ways. Disappointed, he spent his time helping at events, though admittedly begrudgingly, giving advice on anything people didn't ask for it on, or talking about how a committee could be better. Nothing too bad, just salty. Halfway through the year, the committee ran into a bit of a predicament. A committee member had to drop, so a space was free. In this situation, people apply for the free space, but the committee votes for who gets the space, saves doing an election. Think you can see where this is going? Yeah, they checked their applications, and lo and behold, who was the first one who applied? Nobeard. After a brief discussion, the committee actually decides, let's take a risk, and they vote for Nobeard. Now, before you roll your eyes, keep in mind that he'd be in events constantly, helps set up events, and trying to get on the committee next year. So it's going to be taking over board games, one of the friendliest, popular, and easy events to run. All you have to do is bring a stock of board games to a booked room, run the event. What could go wrong? Well, within a few weeks, board games went from the most popular event with 20 plus people to barely scraping by little to play. Barely scraping by with enough people to play Settlers of Catan. Sorry. As said earlier, most who become committee help nurture community. They get people to try new games, introduce themselves to new people trying the event, or just invite people to play a game with them. Nobeard did none of the above. He would bring the board games to the designated room and sit in the corner playing 3DS until the event ended, not lifting a finger to help or set up any of the games. Even his closer friends admitted he had done nothing when given the chance. That's all bad. But here's the main event. One week, another society is using the cinema for Mario Kart tournament. It's a cool idea, and they have special access to the cinema we don't have. GameStop encourages members to go, but reminds that board games will also be on for anyone preferring to chill in there. Nobeard isn't a fan of this, believing himself to be a master of Mario Kart, but being the head of board games, he begins telling people that board games isn't on that week, that instead they're going to the cinema to do the tournament. Chief quickly gets wind of this plot and has it in the weekly email that both will be on. Nobeard will have to continue with the event. Or so we thought. The day arrives. Aloro and Viking meet up for a coffee before going to board games for 6:15. A bit late, but they're not worried, since with less members, they're bound to have first choice of games to play. Well, they definitely have first choice, because they walk into the room to find a pile of board games on the table and nobody else in the room. Well, they're both surprised. After all, Chief made it clear that the event was on, and there are the games, so where the hell is Nobeard? Any of you who are a fan of board games know how expensive they can be. So imagine a table of Settlers of Catan plus expansions, Sentinels of the Multiverse. Great game, by the way. I'm going to take your word for it. I don't know. Avalon, 30 seconds, etc., etc., etc. And imagine the value on that table, even at second-hand prices. Now imagine it all completely left unguarded. They even checked with the building officer security to see if there was anything like a fire drill, but no, nothing. Aloro is a clever guy and takes pictures with timestamps, sending one or two as evidence. Then he decides to start a game with Viking. By 6:40, Chief arrives to take one long look and sees two lads. Where the hell is Nobeard? They both shrug and explain the story. Chief curses and walks out. 10 minutes later, who does he drag back? Nobeard. Chief. Nobeard, why was all of this left here? I was here for ages and asked my friend to sign up for the new Mario Kart. I was only gone a few minutes. Chief, knowing he has him, smiles. So what time did you leave? 6:30 at the earliest. Chief points to Aloro and Viking. When were you guys here? 6:15. Oh, no, that's wrong. I was definitely here. Aloro activates his trap card, ladies and gents. He holds up his phone. I took pictures at the time, timestamped and all, on Snapchat too. Nobeard flounders, saying that the pics could be edited or Snapchat's wrong, but nothing is sticking. He continues denying it up until Chief tells him to cop on and stay at the event till its end. Apparently his plan had been to go to the Mario Kart event at 6, compete, and then win, and then be back before his event ended to pick up and act like he'd been here the whole time. Cut forward a year. I'm in committee now with Aloro, and we've got a great group. One day I hear Nobeard talking about his committee was better. Intrigued, I asked him what was so different about the year, and he said a lot without saying anything. How their events were better and how the turnout was great, but no real answers. Eventually I asked how his events went. And, mine were good. No problems. Oh, okay. Well, what about that whole Mario Kart thing? He goes red, looks down for a second before turning back to me. He's like, that never happened. That's right. He denies it to this day that it ever happened. And if you ever ask him, he'll say it never happened, even if you have evidence. Oh, the final funny point? Yeah, he lost in Mario Kart. TLDR, Nobeard is trusted with responsibility and a committee position, only to run the event to its lowest attendance ever and leaves a couple €100 worth of board games unguarded to play Mario Kart. Author's note. So I'm happy people seem to be enjoying these. For next one, I'm torn between a technical enough Magic the Gathering story or a bit more of a creepy experience one. I dig feedback on what people want to hear or what they think so far. Besides that, we have general small encounters that might give a giggle. We can throw them up as one post as opposed to two different stories. Besides that, I hope it gives a good laugh. Happy Halloween. Well, happy Halloween to you too, my friend. And I don't know why I had trouble reading that. I think there's something wrong with me tonight. But I enjoyed it. So thank you so much for watching this. God, this guy sounds like he's going to be a continuing staple, doesn't he? And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And I have a Patreon if you'd like to donate to that too. Anyway, I'm going to go read some more Neckbeard stories because this is what my life has become now. Okay, I love you all. Goodbye.